to help retract the shoulder. And in jiu-jitsu, in gi and no gi, they help depress and contract that joint. So when you grab someone, whether it's in a gi or whether it's like a monkey grip on someone and you're controlling them, in the gi, you use the grip, right? So you have sleeve, collar. That's more forearm and grip strength because of how your fingers are hooked into the collar and the sleeve or someone's pant leg. You match that grip work up with your body position, and that creates the lock or the trap. But in no-gi, you're using false grips because you can't hook your fingers into someone's skin. It'll just slide. So you can use C grips, you can use monkey grips. And when you get, let's say you get around someone's neck and around their tricep and you're pulling them to you, that pull, the flexion at your elbow is initiated by your bicep, but it's locked by your lats. So when you're looking at the two disciplines, things like hanging pull-up engagements, where you're hanging overhead and you suck your lats down and engage them, or rows, barbell rows, where you pause at the top for a duration, 3 seconds with the bar tight to your chest, 1, 2, 3, keeping that lat really tight, versus single arm farmer's carry or any kind of grip work that you're doing, maybe gi grip pull-ups where you've taken your lapel and you've thrown it over the top and you're holding onto it doing pull-ups. That difference is pretty stark. And so from a strength training perspective, if you're only doing one, you want to make sure that you address those two areas. So if you're predominantly training in the gi, you want to address grip strength directly. So forearm and grip strength. If you're training in no-gi exclusively, you want to make sure that you really target and learn how to engage your lats and resist resistance. So if you have, let's say, a band attached to a bar and you row it to your body and you fight that band's increased tension to pull your arm away from you, that's going to transition really well to this false grip lock that you use. For finishing submissions, you see a lot of this wrist flexion, right? If you get a collar grip and a cross collar and you flex your wrists, or if you're in another position in a Kimura and you want to finish or a footlock and flex your wrist, that type of wrist flexion is very unique. And in typical strength training programs, you actually don't see it because you don't want it. You want a locked out wrist in most strength movements to the best of your ability, not a broken wrist. A bench press is a little unique because that actually helps you get range of motion versus being locked out because the barbell will slip out of your hand. But there's a lot of positions where you want that firm, straight, locked wrist to build wrist integrity. But you need strength in wrist flexion. So this can be like, the silliest exercise is you're sitting on the end of a bench with a barbell in your hands and you're doing wrist curls. It seems stupid, but that flexion under tension is really important for finishing submissions in the gi and some submissions in no gi.